This reaction is brought to you by my copious and ever-growing amount of $5 or more patrons at patreon.com/Alex Haitz. Thank you all so much. I would love to thank Manchester Pictures, Identitech, Jadubi, TFG, Chris Borgioni, Borgioni, William Myatt, Steve Aldersley, Kurt David, Joe Brown, Alex M, at Hawkgirl Videos 69 on Twitter. I checked it, it's okay. Mason Frost, Matthew McLaughlin, Andres Glacial, Biff C, B Jabber, Matrix Maniac, and Joey Anoof. Thank you all so much for sponsoring this video, supporting me, my family, the channel. I appreciate it highly, and I hope you enjoy this reaction. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally happened. I've been reacting to albums for 3 years now. We're just now getting to this legendary album. I believe it's been on 2 or 3 polls, but now it's happening. The people have spoken, right? So this is the album we're doing between Modest Mouse and The Cure. So next albums I will be doing will be a good lit run of Cure albums. If you check links in my description, you can find a list of all the albums I will be reacting to, as well as frequently requested ones that I've already reacted or already listened to before I started doing reactions. So recently came out with a subreddit, r/Alex Haitz. You can head there if you want to recommend song or album reactions. There's a couple posts there, and I also have linked those lists as well I just mentioned. So, yeah, here we go, guys. Trout Mask Replica, Captain Beefheart and his magic band. Whew. I will be doing this in 2 sittings. It will be 1 video, but I'm going to do it in 2 sittings. I'll do side 1 and 2 right now. Then probably tomorrow, which means nothing to you, I will do the other half. Not because I don't want to do it in 1 sitting. I'd prefer that, but just because of my schedule, it'd be easier to split it in 2. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I have heard Frownland and Old Fart at Play. Don't ask me why those 2 in particular. And then part of whichever one is all about the Fast and Bulbous. That's about it. So yeah, those of you who don't know anything about this album, you're in for a treat on this one. I guarantee it, as am I. 1969, experimental rock, avant-garde, blues, art rock, free jazz. This is an almost 80-minute album. It's going to be a wild, weird ride. It's going to be borderline unlistenable to some people, but I think that's going to make for an entertaining reaction. For those of you who don't know, on my Patreon, link in the description, you can get, for $10 a month, you can get access to unedited reactions from my Modest Mouse reactions going forward. I believe we have about 8 or 9 so far, and this will be one of them. So if you're watching on YouTube and you would love to see this video unedited, hopping on over to Patreon, throwing $10 my way will get you that, and it will support the channel and allow me to eventually be able to go full-time doing this stuff. So I think we're just going to start without any further ado. I mean, there's so much backstory on this album that we could talk about that forever. Just like the weird living conditions of the musicians at the time and how like not cool it was to a degree. But I'm sure you guys can like wax eloquently and poetically about that in the comments. So I'm just going to start listening to the music. I don't think I'll have lyrics up because I just kind of want to focus on what I'm hearing rather than read stuff. So without any further ado, guys, let's begin with Frownland. Go back to your Frownland.
The sky and the sun and the moon and all I can see on my own land. Take my go flying with no man lying.
Now, what's so insane about this album is that while that probably sounded, just for those of you who hadn't heard stuff like this before, quite insane and random, that was all very meticulously rehearsed. That was all very specific. It sounded like they were hitting a bunch of wrong notes, but like they rehearsed for, oh gosh, how long was it? It says here somewhere, I just read it. 8 months. Yeah, they rehearsed for 8 months and then recorded all the instrumental tracks for the album in one 6-hour recording session. And then Beefheart, what's his name? Don Van Vliet. He recorded his vocal and horn tracks over the next few days. But like all the instrumental stuff, one single 6-hour recording session. Take that, Led Zeppelin. Yeah, so we're getting into stuff that I haven't heard before. I mean, I've heard Frownland before, but have I ever really heard it before? The dust blows forward and the dust blows back.
There's old gray with her dove-wing forward and the dust blows back. And the wind blows black through the sky. Stick Kleenex hung on a pointed forked twig. Back now, and the blackbird's feeding on rice, and his red wings look like diamonds, and a girl named Bimbo, Limbo, Spam.
Beautiful. That made me feel something. You know, there's a word for this. If you guys know it, please tell me, because I've been trying to remember this word for literally years. It's like a term for like this artistic method of kind of like painting like in an impressionistic way, like words that don't quite make sense, but when you put them together, it evokes a certain feeling. And it's specifically with words, because like impressionism, you know, is kind of like a broad term for art and art movement. But there's a certain term for like writing lyrics or words in a certain way, even if they're nonsensical, that just like evoke a certain feeling. And that's kind of what this album, I think, is trying to do. It's not trying to be orthodox or you know, straightforward. It's trying to do something different, and because of that, it has to break out of molds, and it's going to sound weird and crazy. But that's how it goes sometimes with avant-garde. Dachau Blues.
Dachau Blues, those poor Jews. Dachau Blues, the children bout the burnings back in World War III. With balls and powder, blood and snow, War II rain, death and showers and skin. 3 little children with doves on their shoulders.
The doors, and they all get shotguns and run shotgun rats. And nothing happened. They couldn't get the rats to move, see? From all directions. And old Wall thought he was going to get killed.
I mean, there's so many tracks, and a lot of them are quite short. And I like, you kind of run out of things to say at certain points. I mean, that was a little more subdued than something like Frownland, which kind of just jumps right out at you out of the gate. So let's go to the next one, Ella Guru.
Come walking, looking like a zoo. Hi Ella, Guru. Hi Blue, she flew. Hi Ella, Guru. Right, the mascara snake, fast and bulbous. Tight also.
Fast and bulbous. These songs end so fast I can't turn off my cooler in time. See, that was interesting because that was a little more grounded. Like you could kind of get like senses of a normal song throughout there. It just had like a bunch of weird junk in the way of it, which I find interesting. And it's like clean shoegaze. You know, it's like listening to Loveless, but instead of trying to listen through all the fuzz, you're trying to listen through all the intended fuzz that just didn't happen because you plugged a bunch of pedals into your guitar. Anyway, Hair Pie Bake 1. This is an instrumental. It's 5 minutes long.
Lolita?
Yeah.
She's nice. No, it's hair pie.
Okay. That was actually kind of cool. Because like, kind of like I said with Ella Guru, like you just get these like moments of like clarity where it's just like, hey, I'm like hearing something, or like something that like almost sounds like it's trying to be a melody, even though it's messy, and you can kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you hear it and your mind can fill in the gaps and kind of like make something out of it. It's very bizarre, but it's cool. Okay, last one on side one, we have Moonlight on Vermont.
Light on Vermont, affected everybody, even Mrs. L. That goes to show you what a moon can do. I'm on bridge from Tuesday to Friday. Everybody's gone for a white elephant escape from zoo. Give me good enough for me.
I don't know if it's like I'm getting used to the sound, but it feels like Frownland was and Dachau Blues were like the only really weird ones so far. Because that felt somewhat straightforward. I don't know, is that just me? Pachuco Cadaver.
A squid eating dough in a polyethylene bag is fast and bulbous. Got me? Bells her bolero. Then she began to dance. All the pass like a present. Takes a fancy in the pants. A sedan skin alfalfa yellow adorn her to the ground. Tattoos and tarnish, eyes are so peaceful. Thinks it's heaven she been. Her skin is as smooth as a day into the air around her. She love, her love sticks out like stars.
I'm not crazy, am I? I feel like these songs are getting more normal. Like, obviously the lyrics are still crazy, but like, I'm hearing music. I don't know, man. Yeah, as far as like personal enjoyment goes, because obviously this is like a shock, and anyone who knows me knows that I like fairly clean melodic music. Certain like art rock and experimental rock can hit me in certain ways. It depends on like literally song to song, even like it's not even consistent through artists or albums. As far as my enjoyment of this goes, it's like I don't think I'd come back to this very often just because like there's a lot of blues influence here and I'm not a big blues fan. But it's cool music. It's what's the right word? It's engaging. It's not like it's just a mess I'm going to tune out. It's like, no, you can actually like kind of plug into it and kind of be in sync with it rather than just kind of tune it out. And I feel like a lot of experimental music can just be kind of tuned out because it just tries to be so insane. But this has like a pulse. It has a through line that kind of you can sort of connect to a degree. At least that's how I feel so far. I don't know what the rest of the album is like, but let's continue with Bill's Corpse. Oh, here we go.
Surely, madam, you must be dreaming. You couldn't have done this if you knew what they ever all got together. 'Twas not in love, but shameful grief.
It's not the kind of thoughts I'd like to keep.
The rain played lightly down. Have us all, or you should have us fall.
It's compelling somehow. Like, again, I'm not eager to listen to this again anytime soon, but like, I'm kind of having a good time. It's weird. I'm sure you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to describe it, but anyway, sweet, sweet bulbs.
Sweet, sweet, sweet bulbs grow in my latest garden. Wow, wow, wow. I see you, Phoebe, baby, in your bonnet, with sunset written on it. Married, she'd abandoned like a hand-me-down. She waved open to most anyone that needs 10 hours.
Like, I'm reminded of Sister Ray by the Velvet Underground, because I commented when I was listening to that one how you could hear just like random things come through, like the bass line or like the drums, you know, and I'm just like, oh, there's like something stable. And with this one, it was, you know, like the bass line, boom, doo doom, doo doom. And I feel like maybe there was a guitar at the end there that kind of did the same thing. But yeah, you latch on. It's like you're swimming in the ocean, trying to like hold on to anything that will keep you afloat. And it's not going to be a trout, that's for sure. Okay, Neon Meate, Dream of a Octafish.
Lucid tentacles test, ensleeved, enjoin, enjointed bulbs, ingest, incest, ingest, injust, infeast, incest, meat, limp, damp rose, peeled in felt, fields in bell, girdled in ladders alight, cavorts girdled in ladders alight, adipped amidst.
Dang it. Yet again. Yeah, man. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? I thought that one was actually kind of funny. There's like a desperation in his voice. All right. That famous David Bowie song, also written by Iggy Pop, China Pig, sorry. That's it. Probably my least favorite so far, because it feels like I'm trapped in a serial killer's basement. But maybe that makes it the best one. Who knows? Okay. Next one. My Human Gets Me Blues.
Yes, I knew you under your dress. Our human gets me blues. You got my human gets me blues. Silver bow rings up in inches. You were afraid,
Boy, and God didn't think to ask his preference.
and bring your dress in your favorite dog, in your husband's cane, in your old spot blues.
I felt like I felt back. Okay, let's close out this session with Dali's Car. Okay. That was actually kind of cool. Another one where I'm like, I can kind of sense where it's going, but it's just not the right notes. Okay, so that's it for session 1. I'll be back tomorrow, also known as right now. So here we go. And we're back. It's the next day. Have I learned anything in the meantime? No. Let's keep going though. There's 28 songs, and we've done 13, so pretty much exactly halfway. The next one here, Pie, this is Bake 2. Again, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like these tracks are becoming more normal as I listen to them. It's a weird phenomenon. Pena, I believe this is the one with the great fast and bulbous lyrics.
Fast and bulbous.
Fast and bulbous.
That's right, the mascara snake. Fast and bulbous.
Bulbous also tapered.
Yeah, but you've got a tin teardrop.
Bulbous also tapered.
That's right.
Pena, her little head clinking like a barrel of red velvet balls, full pass noise. Treats filled her eyes till they to the area side. Oh well, it was worth it. Pena, pleased but sore from sitting, chose to stubborn terms that moved in tuck and rolls and clacks and whispered in their confinement. 3 little birds scotch tape with them.
Jeff Cotton. Apparently the vocals on there. Just reading his thing on here, like he left the band in 1970, which this was, what was it again? 69. About like a temporary drummer during a group talk, like he attacked him and broke his ribs. But this was probably just the final straw, having experienced the reclusive 8 months of rehearsals for Trout Replica, during which Beefheart experimented on the group members with sleep deprivation, food deprivation, and physical violence in an attempt to break down their mental state. He retired from the music business in 1975 to study the Christian ministry. To study it? I don't know. Anyway, there was Pena. That was something. Well...
Light floats down the river, red rail shining, white in one spot well. It's hard place that I'm living. My life ran through my veins, whistling high, mind cracked like custard. Ran red until it sealed bone, in bleached the air around them. White and shining silence, well.
Okay, not a lot to say on that one, but again, I'm hearing melodies. Is that just me? Am I alone? I mean, obviously that was very simple, but there's a couple other ones on here, right? That were kind of like, was it the dust blows forward and the dust blows back? That was kind of like that. It sounded like one full take though, but unlike dust blows forward. So anyway, let's keep going. When Big Joan sets up.
Hoy, hoy!
It's like a ball. She's tied off a horse
When Big Joan sets up, her hands are too small. She's too fat to go out, nothing's happening, or you wouldn't have come out like you did. Oh, when Big Joan sets up, her hands are too small. She's out of... You promised not to talk about your hands being too small.
I don't know. That one got me. I don't know why. The lyrics were pretty funny too. That's just a mood, you know. Is that what they say? It's a mood. Kids these days, Fallin Ditch. Pringles? Can I have some?
What do you run on, Rocket Morton? Say beans.
I run on beans.
When I get lonesome, beans. It ain't my fault, the things in my bones. When I get lonesome, the wind begins.
Oh. Good. Sugar and spikes.
In sugar and spice, steam stale. Choose, move, broom, and sugar and spikes. Everything nice, everything nice and crazy. That's what little world's harming back time. Now it's king for a day with my lady feeling fine.
There's just so much to say, but not enough time to say it all. Like, each song is like unique enough. Like, I don't feel like I'm just listening to the same madness over and over. But like looking back, I couldn't tell you what any track sounded like. And that probably makes sense, right? Like, I need to listen to this 500 times before that would need to happen. Anyway, Ant-Man B.
White ants running, black ants crawling, yellow Ant-Man B.
All you have to do is you got to let us through. Why do you have? Now the bee takes his honey, he sets the flower free.
Is that it? That's it. Man, this... it's weird because, like, I wouldn't say that I'm having a good time. But at the same time, I'm not, like, not enjoying myself. It's fun, but it's not... It's like, it's contradictory, really. Like, I'm really excited to be done with it, but also I don't regret any of my time that I'm spending here. This is wild. I still have 8 tracks to go. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Orange Claw Hammer.
A thick cloud caught a piper cub's tail, a match struck blue leg forever. I'm on the bum where the hobos run. On the gravel, one stick poked down. Gray of age fell down on a pack rabbit, raised his folded ears. A beautiful sagebrush jatter. When I got into town, Odd jobs, ma'am. Licorice twisted around under a fly. You a cherry phosphate. Take you down, laid father. I was Shanabin in a soft lass with brown skin. Water.
Oddly, like the acapella ones are the hardest for me to get through. And they're not even really that bad. It's just like you only have like one element to kind of keep you, you know, focused. Okay, wildlife.
I'm my mother's father. It ran down all my kin. Folks, I know I'm next. Wild Haitz. Wild Haitz. Going up on the mountain along with my wife. Find me a cave and talk them bears into taking me. My life, before they take my wildlife. Before they take my wife. Before they take my wife. Wildlife. Wildlife.
Well, there it is. Yeah, not a lot to say. I'm just going to keep going. I want to finish. I'm almost there. She's too much for my mirror.
Here you would have a famous version of She's Too Much for My Mirror. Note the clever slate. She's too much for my...
She's too much for my mirror. Chicago, she's a woman that make a young man a bum. And she make things roll. She got me way over here and I'm hungry and cold. Oh, lose it. Oh, lose it. How long for you? How long lose it? Shit, I don't know how I'm gonna get that in there.
That's what she said. Hobo Chang Ba.
A word claw land in my jaw. I can't call it music. It's just Hobo Chang Ba. Hobo Chang Ba. Word claw land in my jaw. Hobo Chang Ba. And gain my ground, lay the rest of the law. The ocean is my mother, and I'm rusting. The new sunrise I'm trusting. The rails I ride are rusting. The new sun.
Okay, I'm losing it a little bit, just a little bit. I'm kind of feeling like I'm in a straitjacket at this point. A little bit giddy, kind of giggly. The Blimp.
You ready?
No.
Easier, and you have to have a flying eye to see it. It's the thing that's gonna make Captain Beefheart and his men put me on the white hook back in the fat rack, shadracky shack. The something hoop, the science, the mothership. The brothers hid under their hood from the blimp behind the blimp. The nose has a cramp. The nose is for blimp. The blimp. All the people stare, and the girl's knees tremble, and run and wave their hands. And mother, don't you dare! Oh, mama, who cares? It's the blimp. It's the blimp.
Hello? Sure did. It's beautiful.
Like paper between a mirror breaks my heart. The moon frayed through dark fell. Blue skies from winter breaks my heart that I can't go. Energy flies through, feels softly through sunshine, still softly through snow. And kill. black paper between a mill. Feel softly through snow.
Old fart at play. I know this one.
Khaki sweatband, bowed goat pot-bellied barnyard that only he noticed. The old fart was smart. The old goat worked and snapped all the bees back to the bungalow. Mama was flattening lard with her ready now. Air holes from which breath should come is now closely fit. With the chatter of the old fart in eyelash, rubbed her hands on her gorgeous gingham. Her hands grasped sticky metal, intricate latch. All this through his important breather holes. Cleverly he dialed from within. From the outside we observed that the now smooth, amazingly blended, camouflaged in with the very intricate rainbow trout replica.
And the dark interior glazed, watered, and appreciated.
Utter nonsense, but somehow I knew exactly what he was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, the 28th and final track, Veterans Day Bobby.
I cried. I can't buy yours. You don't get me high. It can only make me cry. You're a veteran.
Okay, so I know, like, people have, like, heard this album and they go, like, oh, it's such a mess, it's, you know, it's a waste of my time, why did I listen to this? And then they eventually come around and they're like, oh, you know, this is actually, I get it. I get it right off the bat. Even in 2 sittings, that was quite a lot to stomach, but I like what they were trying to do here. And I'm eager to kind of learn more about what was going on with the rehearsals and all that, because it seems really interesting. Yeah. I can't even tell you which tracks I liked more than other ones, because I don't remember a lot of them. And even the ones I just listened to, I'm just like, I couldn't tell you what that one was like. I know Pena was kind of crazy. Hobo Chang Ba was crazy. The Blimp. All the Jeff Cotton, Pena and the Blimp with the lead vocals, that was just insane. The dude was like on crack. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to stop there. There's nothing more I need to do. I'm done. I'll talk about it in the follow-up. Anyway, so yeah, that's Trout Mask Replica. Crazy album. A lot of fun, a lot of insanity, a wild ride. Thank you so much for joining me on said wild ride. Okay, so that's it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was watchable. Things to plug, patreon.com/AlexHeitz. Head there if you'd like to support the channel. $1 a month is all you need to be able to vote in Patreon polls that happen every 2 to 3 albums I do, where depending on what poll we're doing at the time, I always put a video up on the channel explaining it. Different people will choose 4 albums, and then the poll will be exacted out by the patron voters. So everyone who's a patron, $1 a month is all you need, can vote in these polls and choose which of 4 albums to listen to next. It's a nice way to kind of interject random, like, one-off albums to keep the schedule fresh as I go through artists kind of in order. And Discord, link in the description for that. 130-ish people over there, a lot of fun. Music discussion, music recommendations, just all kinds of channels to talk about things in, and we have a lot of fun over there. And that is all I have for you guys. I'm going to go crawl under, I would crawl under my sheets, but it's quite warm. So I'll hide under my pillow, and I'll let Captain Beefheart kind of, echo through my head as I continue this journey into insanity on my own terms and on my own time. So yes, next album will be Three Imaginary Boys by The Cure. I'll be throwing in the extra Boys Don't Cry compilation tracks as well, which I believe are 4 extra tracks. And we're going to start our Cure binge basically after this. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching. This legendary album finally happened. A long time in the making. But anyway, until next time, Godspeed.